As people have reached out to you, as we're talking about like what it is, the conversations that we're having in light of some of the elevated national conversation, like what's that experience? Like when people are reaching out to you and be like, yo, Fred, cool, how you doing? What's been helpful? What's been unhelpful in some of those conversations? Ooh.
You go first, Fred.
Yeah, Fred goes first this time. Fred goes this
because I feel like you're going to be a lot nicer than I'm going to be.
So there's this thread to pull on, I think, because I think I'm sensitive to all the things that we've just talked about, and I'm not willing to play the game. I'm not willing to go there, and so I usually deflect. People say, what can I? People who check in, which is a lot of people that I'll say I'm really like blessed by that. It's just had a lot of people just like, man, I don't know what's going on in your heart right now, but I want you to know I'm with you. That means the world to me, right? And I usually don't say a lot. Say appreciate it. Yeah. But you can tell then when there's this other layer of somebody wanting to either solve a problem for me or to prove to me that they're a part of the solution or something. And so then there's some weird questions get asked, like, but what can I tangibly do for you or your family right now? And like, I've made some dark jokes like, please just don't shoot people who look like me. I mean, that's a great start.
Step one.
Step one.
Like, appreciate you not doing that. And if you're not doing that, you're on a pretty good track.
The baseline is so minimum.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm looking for first.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think the thread to pull on, because I've really wrestled with like, people are, if I give the benefit of the doubt and I try not to read or I guess like diagnose problematic parts of people's hearts when they approach me or whatever, it really is like I think that there's this understanding that people in marginalized or othered communities know, which is that we are personally and corporately, I think, we are expected to play a function that serves the larger predominant culture. We are viewed subserviently most of the time. If you think about what function does predominant white culture expect or want from Asian culture, it is a lot of the things you think of are like actually like service vocations and are things that are like outperform us in ways that we aren't really interested in anyway.
Yes.
And I think what happens to us internally, whether we recognize it or not, is that the only thing that's really left just for us, just for me, just for people who look like us with our backgrounds, or other people of color, other marginalized groups, the only thing that's left just for us is my story.
Yeah.
The only thing that I possess that nobody can own but me is my story.
Yeah.
And so when people come to me and ask me, what's your experience as an Asian person? That's not just something I can talk about, like, tell me what happened in church on Sunday, or tell me about your kid, or tell me about why you like baseball or something. It's really about, like, you're asking me to give you the only thing that is truly mine for me.
Yes.
And so to come to me and ask for that is not it's not trivial in any way. It is the only thing that is mine. And so then we have to do this mental and emotional and social math of, is this somebody who I believe I can trust to honor and uphold my story if I share it with them? And sometimes we do and sometimes we don't, right? And probably a lot of us have been asked or invited to share our stories in public spaces, and we've had to wrestle through that to go like, who's going to be in that public space? We have to do we have to do all of these equations of like, what's the risk, what's the cost, and what's the potential benefit? And these are things that other predominant or majority groups don't have to think through on the same level, right? Like, that doesn't mean everybody, but in general. And so I think what I would really love for my friends to know is that when you're asking me for that, understand the weight of what you're asking for, and you need to honor it on a level that maybe you aren't totally accustomed to honoring people's stories with, right?
That's so good.
And so, I mean, because really it's not only just the thing that's mine in our culture, but because of the pressures that have come with that, it's really the only thing that's mine. on a more deeper, even spiritual level, because my spiritual experience is so deeply impacted by my cultural experience and my personal experience.
Right.
So I think that's kind of a word that I've wanted to articulate in different spaces and different relationships of like, do you understand what you're asking me for when you want to know my experience? I appreciate you asking, but I have some work I need to do to decide, what I let out and what I don't.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, like it, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you can stay tuned for all of our content.